So for this next one, and I think this is going to be a great way to explain this. So we're going from A to D, back to A, to E. And it just does that over and over again. That's it. A for 2 bars, to D for 2 bars, A for 2 bars, E for 2 bars. We're going to start in A major pentatonic. On the E. E. On the note, on the E. I'm starting on the note E every time. I'm starting on a higher E. On A. On F sharp. On F sharp again. This is the F sharp minor pentatonic scale. C sharp. You don't have to do that. I'm just messing with you. Just keeping you alive here today. F sharp. On E. On E. So you can work with that F sharp minor pentatonic scale. F sharp minor pentatonic, also known as A major pentatonic scale. Same thing. F sharp minor pentatonic scale. And what you can do is you can write it out. Right? You just write out that scale. Extended range, first position on your instrument. Cellos start on C sharp, violas start on C sharp, violins start on A. Write it out. We'll do a little quick sequence coming down from B. So that A major scale, A major pentatonic, it works. Now we're going to do it where we use chord tones. Chord tones. Okay? So you play after me. Chord tone. Chord tone. Landing on a chord tone from the chord. So that's the difference. Now, in the what's tempting to do is to just use the pentatonic scale on this progression, and because it pretty much sounds fine. Right? And what that will do is, and you can kind of hear some of those changes when it's like, oh, that's an E chord. So you can kind of hear your way through it. But what it does is it will leave you kind of unable to do other things about the harmony. You know, and like I always say, like, for me, the test I set for myself is, can I accompany someone else on this chord progression? Well, you can't do that with just a pentatonic scale. All you can do with that pentatonic scale is play melodies. So if you want to accompany someone else, then you have to play the chord progression. And you have to work on that voice leading. And that doesn't mean it needs to be technically difficult, right? So a simple accompaniment would start with just the bass. So you can play this bass line. And that's the whole thing. So it's 2 A's, 2 D's, then 2 A's, then 2 E's. If you want to add rhythm to it, you could be just like, I'm not sure how I would do that. But if then was somebody else was playing along, you could accompany them that way. Or you could play notes from the chords. And if you don't know them, if you can't find them, then you write it out. Assume you have that written out, then, you know, inner voices. You could do this. This is assuming someone else is playing bass. Or you can put it all together. Which is basically what I did in my loop. It's kind of just strumming, ga-dun, 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 a little bit of a swing to it, right? You could even do something like this. If we want to practice the rhythm side of that, just something like this. You can play long notes. So we bring that in the melody. And we try to land on those chord tones as destinations if we want. And we can mix it in with that pentatonic scale. And then you can do anything. You win a car. You can do anything. You know this chord progression inside and out. So I'm going to kind of mix now that F sharp minor pentatonic and the knowledge of the chord tones, okay? So there's value in playing these really simple phrases. When I do this, when I play alongs like this, and I think I'm going to make this playable for the, let's say, like the most beginning player, for example, right? That is still a musical challenge for me. I want you to hear me when I say this. I still have the opportunity to pick a good phrase, first of all, that's a musical phrase, because just because it's simple, it can still be deep. You like, no matter how simple it is, it can still be deeply musical. It can be soulful, right? So I get to decide on that phrase, a deep soulful phrase, and then I get to play it in a way that is soulful, that feels good, that's musical, right? So that's why I say it's a challenge for me. And so work on that. Make concise phrases, and investigate how you can do that in a way that is deep. Choosing phrases that you like, exploring phrases and trying. If you find you're like, oh, not quite that note, let me change it a little bit. And then also investigate how can you play it in the best way. So I'll give you a couple minutes on that. 1, 2, 3. And then we're going to do 1, 5, 1 right here. 1, 5, 1. And then we do a tag, turn it around. Now we're back. I'm going to do that every time now. Here it comes. 1, 5, 1. And back to the original progression. 1, 4.